Alright, we're recording some commentary after the fact. I already played this game. This is my first game of Broken Arrow. I've never played Broken Arrow before, so it's gonna suck. But it'll be a little bit of fun too. We're gonna learn some things. We're gonna be learning kind of how the game works. I'd watched a few streams, like maybe 2 or 3 before this, to maybe kind of figure things out. Of course, the guys are drawing penises there already. Yeah, so getting started here. First time in the map. Kind of taking a look at my deck. I think this is the deck that Noiceguy put together. Yeah, it does look like it is. Trying to decide there if I should bring in air, which a lot of people do early on. Looks like I decided not to do that. I'm going to be bringing up some, looks like deciding between AA or mech engineers first. Looks like we're going with AA and Bradley transports. Trying to decide which side to go on. It looks like a lot of my team is stacking up on the left side and not a whole lot on the right. Plus we've got those HIMARS and Patriots and kind of vulnerable things on that side, so I figured, alright, maybe I'll start pushing up on this side. I don't know if this was actually a good idea or not. One of the things that's a little bit weird about the game right now, probably because it's in beta, is you can't actually see like anything about, at least not that I could find, about who your teammates are, you know, like hitting tab or something to see like the leaderboard, or you know who's winning or losing or whatever. That's gonna miss. So yeah, I decided to stack up on the right side because that seemed like a good idea. Later on, it may have turned out not to be. Starting to bring in, looks like a few more things. The maps are quite big and vehicles are quite slow, so you need to plan out your reinforcements quite a while in advance. If you're waiting for, you know, a helicopter or a tank to destroy you before you decide to bring up some AA or anti-tank, you're going to have a bad time. At least that's what it seems like. Especially if you're bringing things up in ground vehicle transports. Some of the air vehicle transports are quite a bit faster. I think they're either more expensive or they're just more fragile. One of the nice things about bringing up the Bradleys is you get a fire support platform once the troops dismount, whereas with the transport helicopters, they're kind of just sitting ducks, it seems like. And I don't really know what I'm talking about here. This is just from what I've seen from watching a few streamers play and having played a few games now, but it definitely seems like you are trading off speed and cost for the fire support platform and whatnot. So the pace of the game is not super fast, but that's kind of a good thing. I'm kind of over the era of like 10,000 actions per minute StarCraft Korean style games. So I'm happy that things are slowed down a little bit. You can see the match time is 40 to like 45 minutes, I think it started at. So matches are quite long, or at least they can be. The way the matches work, you can see right now. Actually, I think I'm already making a mistake and not realizing it here. I got a little bit of tunnel vision here. Got a helicopter coming up here, so it was a good thing that I brought in the AA. I think, is that a transport or maybe a recon helicopter? I'm not actually sure yet. But I've definitely got plenty of AA in that area, so whatever it's doing isn't a super big concern. I don't know if it dropped off troops or if it was just trying to spot things. You can see I'm also bringing up those scout snipers. Recon is a big deal in this game. All the recon units have increased stealth so they're harder to see, and then increased optics so they can see farther, so they can do their job. We're bringing up yet another one. Oh, never mind. I realized that I only brought up one in my Humvee, and I don't have another transport to spare for that. I think this helicopter is going to go down here to my manpad squad there. Yeah, I think right here. Boom. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so I think I'm doing an okay job for a newbie of, you know, we're bringing up recon, we're bringing up AA, we're bringing up AT. We're not just blindly rushing the point. Trying to slowly build up the position and support myself a little bit. I guess I brought those scout snipers in on the Osprey. That seems like a huge waste. And you got to be careful when bringing in. Yeah, see, I'm not realizing that Osprey is just sitting there. I think that's something they could probably make a little bit better in the reinforcement flow. Is if you're bringing in ground troops on a helicopter, it would be nice if there would be a way to just tell them to immediately deploy, rather than having to remember to go wrangle them later, because that's what's going on. I don't know how long it takes me to figure out that that's what's going on. Part of that I just chalk up to being new at the game and having a lot of stuff to look at. Anyway, earlier I mentioned that I might be making a mistake here. I think you can see that we have one blue point under our control. That's the one that I'm kind of hanging out around, and I'm trying to move up towards the second one on my side since I'm the only one over here. And the rest of my team seems to be in a fight for their lives over the front point on the left side, which the enemy now holds. So it's possible that I made a strategic or an operation level mistake here and should have been moving to reinforce my teammate and not been trying to advance. So you see there's a lot of open ground here too in the middle, so I have to kind of go on the sides. So I don't know, live and learn. I thought that since I'm the only one over here and the rest of my team is over there, they probably had it under control. I didn't spend a lot of time looking to see. Okay, I guess I finally figured out that Osprey situation. But yeah, I may have made a strategic mistake here, because what's going to happen if I push up on that point is I'm unsupported, the rest of my team isn't there. Maybe I do capture it, but then all my forces are out of position and could easily be wiped out by the enemy, and in the meantime I'm not supporting my teammates. And I guess it's also worth noting that control of the points doesn't directly matter during the game. Like, there's 38 minutes left in the game here. It doesn't matter at all that the enemy team has 3 points and we have 1. If you capture all the points or the majority of the points in the last minute of the game, you win. It doesn't matter if the enemy had them, or it doesn't directly matter if the enemy had them for 95% of the game. What does matter is what ground you control. So obviously it's really hard to capture all the points right at the end of the game if the enemy has you pushed back and unable to advance. So in a lot of ways, looks like I'm bringing up my first supply here. Supply is also really important in this game. Your units, you need it to repair damaged vehicles, you need it to reinforce squads, which is a little funny because, I don't know, I guess there's just reinforcement guys just hanging out in the supply dump waiting to get picked up. It's a little bit weird that you can resupply dead soldiers with live soldiers from the supply dumps, but, you know, game mechanics, it is what it is. So yeah, bringing up the supply will let me replenish squads, repair damaged vehicles, and also, really importantly, ammo exists in this game. So every vehicle, every weapon, every infantry unit has limited ammo, and in some cases it's really limited. Like the manpad squads, they have 3 Stinger missiles, I think. So they can shoot a Stinger missile 3 times. That's their whole job, is to shoot Stinger missiles. And they've got 3 of them. After they shoot their 3, they basically are just an underpowered rifle squad and need to get resupplied. That said, shooting down a helicopter, if you happen to do it, is a big deal, so it's worth the low ammo amount. But same thing with the mech engineers. I think they have some kind of anti-tank weapon, but it is short range. That's not important. It's pretty low ammo, and you can see I'm now starting to see enemy units with some of my recon. Well, I guess it's not exactly recon. Those Bradleys are not recon Bradleys, but it's fine. I'm seeing them come up. Looks like maybe T90s or something. I was having a lot of trouble with getting this Stinger team like moving. That was very strange. I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like we tracked that tank. That's what that red cog symbol means. Okay, T90 arenas. That's actually a really good thing there. I'm not sure if it's my support player there who tracked them or not. Basically, if you're tracked, that means your mobility killed. You can't move until somebody brings supply up to you, which basically means you're screwed. It's really hard to bring up supply on a unit that's damaged and vulnerable in the open like that. You can do it sometimes. It looks like maybe he's bringing up a truck there to try to handle that. I don't know. Maybe he does actually escape. And I decided to move back my supply here because I didn't want them to destroy it. Supply, in addition to being... Oh, yeah, look at that. Is he gonna repair that? Is he gonna get it out of there? He's gonna pull it off. Anyway, supply, in addition to just being really important, I think you can steal supply, but also it's explosive. I guess, it's an ammo dump. So if the enemy hits it with a... an artillery strike or something, or you can even blow it up with infantry if you get close enough. It'll destroy the supply, and it'll do damage to everything around it, so you're, like, doubly in danger when you were resupplying. Let's see, yeah, so somebody that looks like a friendly is requesting a strike there, and one of, I don't know if it's the same guy or somebody else. Probably needed to get that Bradley out of there. Oh, he did get it. He did get it fixed. He managed to get it fixed. Wow. That's impressive. Or just I didn't do a very good job. Alright, so he was able to get it out of there. I think those Cav Scouts that I'm sending in might actually be out of their primary... Or not primary. Their missile launcher, the Javelin. I think that's what that white ammo symbol means, is that one of their weapons is out of ammo. And that almost always means, yeah, okay, you can see it down at the bottom that they're out of their anti-tank munitions, because they only get 3 of them. So I think I realized that here, and I'm sending them back to the supply. So yeah, the Scout Cav doesn't have a whole lot of ammo, but top attack Javelins are pretty strong if you can get them. I'm not entirely sure what that red goggle symbol means. I'm assuming it means that they've had their optics damaged or something like that, and they have lowered optics, lowered vision, but I'm not sure about that. It looks like I did pick up, or maybe I just never unloaded that other squad. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm just kind of pulling back here, sort of realizing, okay, I'm really the only one here, so I don't want to try to fight, especially since this is my first game, I don't want to try to fight 1 or maybe 2 opponents on my own, so I'm kind of pulling back to be more defensive here. And yeah, my team still hasn't managed to liberate that other point, so this is the only point we have, and it is sudden death. If you lose all 4 points, or all the points on the map, doesn't matter how much time is left, you instantly lose. Now it does take a little while to capture the point. They have to flip it from blue to white, and then from white to red, so you can't just instantly capture just by touching it, but it's pretty quick, and because units are so slow, if you don't have units positioned around the map, or positioned to defend against it, you could be in trouble. Now, there's a big squad of, I guess, BMDs. I don't know the Russian equipment very well yet, so I'm actually not sure how threatening that group of units is. I know that T-15 is pretty troublesome, although are we going to take it out here? Yeah, it was kind of in the open there, and it looks like that Coronet squad took out my Bradley. Obviously, you want to try to keep vehicles alive if you can, but I'm not sure yet how sad I should be about losing a Bradley or two, since they were primarily there to get the units to the front. And I'm not using most of my arsenal here. Like, I don't think I touch air or helicopters at all. Just trying to get a feel for the ground units. Yeah, they started shelling my front line, and yeah, I don't think those Cav Scouts are going to make it out. Got the shore ads up. I think I pulled those up a while ago. Those are dedicated anti-air vehicles. They do still... There's a lot of sort of mixed vehicles. Like, it's still a Bradley. It still has the Bushmaster primary chain gun, I think. But it's also got Stingers, so... Now, what is my plan here? I think I'm trying to move my cargo back, because I'm worried about them getting close here. Yeah, there's at least a few tanks over there, so things aren't looking super great. I think I'm considering bringing my own tanks in here. You can see I've built up a fair number of points. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the SEP V3s. So the way the points work in this game is your income increases the fewer units you have out. So if you have a lot of units deployed, you won't be accruing, you won't have very much income. There isn't, as far as I know, a cap on the total amount of points that you have, or that you can get. So theoretically, you can sit and float on a bunch of points to bank a bunch of points and call in a big push, which is part of the strategy. But you can't wait too long, because then you're giving up ground to your enemy, and it seems like in this game, ground is, like, just controlling territory is really important, so you kind of have to weigh the benefits of banking some points versus you know, holding your ground. Also, losing units, you do eventually get the points back, but it's far better to get units resupplied, pull them back, keep them healthy, keep them alive, rather than waiting for a brand new unit. Because not only do you have to wait for the unit to be available again, you have to pay full price for it. So there's significant benefits to keeping your units alive and resupplying them wherever possible. Okay. So yeah, my teammates haven't managed to liberate the other point yet. I am rolling in my own armor, and supposedly the M1 SEP V3s are the best tank in the game, but they are not. Tanks are far from invulnerable killing machines in this game. They need to be properly supported. They're really only strong when facing their front armor. The side armor is quite a bit weaker. There's a lot of units that counter them if you're not careful. Top attack ATGMs can really do a number on them. Now, the SEP V3s have the trophy system. That's an active protection system that can shoot down ATGMs, but it's limited uses, so you only get, I think, maybe 2 or 3 uses, and they can only, there's a cooldown on it, so it can only shoot down 1 missile at a time. So it's definitely far from a perfect solution. But it does help the SEP V3s last quite a bit longer. I don't recall if the Set V2s have it. I think they don't. I think that's the major differentiator, is that the Set V2s, which I think is the tank that my ally has over there, I believe they have the explosive reactive armor, which helps against non-top attack missiles quite a bit more, but I think it doesn't do much against top attack missiles. And I'm not sure what the Russian top attack missile is. They have some kind of javelin equivalent, or maybe not equivalent, but something similar. Actually, yeah, you can see there a top attack missile just really did a number on that. I think that's a T90 Arena, but I'm not entirely sure. It's probably going to get taken out here. No, he popped smoke. So he was able to get out of there. So you do need to do a little bit of microwave smoke, which I'm probably not doing very much of here. And smoke is also limited, so you only get a limited number of smoke. Yeah, I think he's going to get smoked here. Actually, like, destroyed, not... Yeah. So that's one of the dangers. You see there, he advanced with that tank with no recon whatsoever. So he had no idea what was awaiting him in that forest. And what was awaiting him was 2 Set V3s and a bunch of other stuff. So he got dusted there. Now, if I don't remember if someone responds with artillery here, but you got to keep on the move, because if you just kind of hole up in a tree line somewhere, enemy artillery can really put the hurt on you. So it does look like I was able to hold my own fairly reasonably well here. I don't have a ton of friendly support that I can see. That, again, I don't know how many enemies I was actually fighting. That may have been just me and one other guy going at each other there. And it looks like somebody did do an airdrop over there, so I've got some mechanized units that I can send over there to respond. Although, let's see, he's got, I think those are Marine Raiders in that building, and Marine Raiders are really nasty anti-infantry units, so he may have just committed suicide sending his units into that building. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to look over there again or not. Trying to reestablish my position here. Yeah, see, the Marine Raiders just cleared out whatever the heck he sent into that building. So, yeah, my understanding of Marine Raiders is they're basically designed to delete infantry stacks that are in buildings. That's kind of what they do. There's 2 ways you can spec them. There's like a standoff version where they have some kind of long-ranged, like, DMRs, DMR-type rifles. And then there's also, like, a door-kicker version where they have shotguns, grenade launchers, and they really do a number in close quarters. Okay, so we just took a hit from the Coronet squad there. I'm not entirely sure what some of the symbology means here. There's like a little red, I think there's like a little red icon in the upper right corner, and I think that just means that they're firing or they're shooting or in combat. Turning my tanks around. I think I'm trying to get their front armor facing. What I should be doing, and I got better at, but didn't have quite figured out in this match, was that you should use backwards moves to keep your front armor facing towards the enemy, keep your guns on them, but like I'd really like to be, yeah, so he got dusted by something. Really like to be backing up. Oh, I did figure it out. Yeah, so he's backing up. I don't know if he's going to make it. Probably not. Backing up towards the supply, but keeping his front armor facing the enemy there. We'll see if he actually makes it. It looks like, yeah, he's backing off. Smoked. I probably should have smoked myself. I don't know if I did or could. So yeah, we're kind of trading blows here. Does that T-15 make it out? Looks like it will. Oh, or maybe not. Okay, he managed to sneak out. I wasn't really paying attention at all to what was going on the left side, and one thing I'm honestly not sure of is it kind of looks like activity has died down there. I wonder if one of my teammates like disconnected or just sort of abandoned the game. It kind of seemed like that, but I wasn't keeping a careful eye over there, so maybe not. Getting some artillery coming in from there. Yeah, probably definitely at this point in the game, I should have realized, okay, we're not taking back that front point, so me taking this back point isn't really a good idea, and I should have been moving to assist those teammates. But I was really focusing on just trying to figure out like how to use my troops, how to move up and not get totally smoked. I think I do get better in some of the later games. I'm bringing up some Set V2s here, it looks like. I think I lost one of them. Yeah, and I'm sending him... Oh, that one did survive. I'm sending him further back. So supply dumps are limited. There's like an amount of supply they have in them, and when they're depleted, you need to either bring up more supply or fall back farther. I guess I am getting supported by one ally there with some of his tanks there. Not sure why I'm sending that tow team forward. I guess maybe for the building? I think they're probably going to get smoked pretty fast. It does seem like that there's a Bradley firing from back there that's doing a good job supporting, so yeah. Oh, and then I see that enemy supply, and I don't know if I'm trying to capture it or destroy it. I think I just wanted to see like what it does. Bringing up some of my backline units, kind of developing my position. That's a term I've stolen from the streamers. Vulcan especially talks about developing his position all the time. I think it's a chess term. You know, moving your pieces into positions where they can strike better. So here, yeah, I'm bringing in an Osprey with, I think, was that supply? Because I've got some damaged units and probably some units that need some ammo. So yeah, we're starting to advance here, and yeah, I do have one other ally here who's helping out. Some of my other allies don't seem to be moving up. Okay, I did capture that supply, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, did he destroy it? He did destroy it. But yeah, I guess it looks like you can capture supply. Sending back the tow team, bringing up the Sep V2. I think that was a whatever the Russian Patriot battery equivalent is. I think it's the Buck, or maybe the S3. I'm not entirely sure. All right, so my Bradley ate it there, landing the Osprey. And then do I send the Osprey back to base or not? I don't know if I did. So it's... I think I must have. Yeah, so basically I brought up the Osprey to land supplies, and then when you send it back to base, you get a partial refund of the points that it used. So it takes some time to fly back to base. I think it comes up to be available to call in again sooner. And if it's undamaged, and it's like you get refunded based on how damaged it is and how much ammo it has left. So if a unit is damaged and has expended all of its ammo, you get a partial refund, but not nearly as much as if you refund a full unit. Getting a message here. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're still tangling with these T-15s. He's advancing his tanks a little. Maybe he's wanting me to move up a little stronger, and I am working on doing that. Probably if I had a little bit more set up with some of these units on control groups, I could have been a little bit more effective. But you generally don't want to run around with like a death ball of units, just because deathballing units makes them a really inviting target for artillery, airstrikes, all kinds of things. So I do find myself microing individual units more than having a big death ball. So yeah, my ally is continuing to bring up some tanks. We are advancing. But I think at a certain point we get too far away from the point where it's not well defended, and we still don't have the other point. So this is another kind of mistake that I'm making here, at least I think. Now it could be that some of my teammates should have been covering this, because I mean, it seems reasonable that one player could or should be advancing on this side, but maybe not. They've got us screwed over so hard on our bottom point that I think it was a mistake to be as far forward as I am here. I just don't know how much of it accounts for just other players not performing very well versus, you know, are these the best players in the world and I just left them out to dry. Ooh, I just took a big hit from that helicopter. Yeah, I'm just not sure how much of it is they would have been fine if I had been there versus we all just would have gotten smoked together. Not sure yet. I think we're going to go after that T-14. Maybe a little dangerous to cross the road with the side armor facing there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can see the Bradley really ate it there. And I couldn't see what was going on over there. I don't have any recon. So even though those buildings look like they're empty, like, I don't know that they are. So those missiles just came out of wherever they came out of. So not having recon up there was the loss of that Bradley. But I am still continuing to move forward. Yeah, just looking at the mini-map, it looks like the bottom point is really in trouble. Somebody was disconnected, so yeah, so maybe one of my teammates just dropped out there and said, okay, this game's lost. We've only got 15 minutes left. Probably there's somebody screaming on the other end about these noobs are pushing up on the back point, and we don't even have our home base sorted. You know, that's on me. I'll accept that. So I think other than that big strategic mistake, I think I'm doing an okay job for a first-time player of, you know, slowly advancing, bringing up support, bringing up some supply. Not a great job, mind you, but doing okay. Now, I also don't know how much of this success, such as it is because the enemy team is actually all focused on the bottom point and totally smoking everything down there, and maybe this is half of one guy that we're fighting up here. So it could be that we're not trading well at all. That's something I'm still kind of getting the hang of. Okay, you can see that Osprey took a big hit just before dropping its supply. Did manage to get it down, so that's good. I don't know if there's a way to queue a command where you drop the supply and then head back to base without having to... There might be, if you can shift-click that or something. So we actually did manage to get pretty far towards that point. You can see we're definitely moving towards it. But I think fairly soon we start to realize that this was a trap, this was a big mistake, and just start abandoning all of this progress. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot else going on the map right now. That, like, you can just see there's just not a lot of activity on the bottom point. Now maybe that's because my teammates or whoever's remaining decided that we should control these two right-hand points, or right from our deployment zone's perspective, I guess. The north side of the mini-map. Let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's a lot of other lessons to learn from this particular match. It looks like there's some enemies flanking there in the forest that I either didn't see or didn't think were a threat. Oh, I think I maybe spotted them there. Not sure. Okay, bringing up more supply. Maybe not. Maybe I still didn't see them. Yeah, I'm still just We're advancing. We're moving up. But I think this is them starting to respond in pretty big force. And I do have some anti-air. I've got the I think I'm bringing up that Stinger team, but I don't think I realized that they were out of ammo there. So yeah, the Stingers are very supply dependent. They're not doing what I think they're doing there. I think here I'm trying to do some cheeky, keeping using the building for cover from the tank. We've got the Osprey coming up. Oh, do I lose it here though? I very well might. I think so. Yeah, I think that looks like it's gonna go down. Yep, so we lost all that supply, lost the Osprey. That was a big hit from the enemy there. And yeah, it was just probably supply a little bit too far forward. Didn't have things really well secured there. And what am I doing here? Bringing up a truck with supply. I mean, that's one way to do it, because the truck won't get shot down by AA, and it can move up pretty quickly on the roads. But I think the fix is in here. So I did smoke there, and I did move backwards. So I'm figuring out some of the tank mechanics here. But probably a little bit too little, too late. The gun on the Lav AD is so cool. It's like a big minigun. Yeah, about 10 minutes left in the game, and all the enemy has to do is just hold what they have here, and they win because they've got 3 points. Best we could do if we did happen to capture that front point is force a tie, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, we're starting to get the artillery pushing us back here, and there's not a lot I can do to counter the artillery here. I do actually have the air tab and the helicopter tab that I haven't touched the whole game, mostly because I don't really know how to use it very effectively yet. It would be nice if we had some eyes on their backline, but we don't have any recon back there at all. And this is the point at which I'm starting to think, where's my team? And I'm wondering how many of them have disconnected, how many of them are AFK. Oh, and this is where I'm looking around to see, how can I see who's on my team? Hitting tab and nothing's coming up. I don't know if there is a key for that in this game. There probably will be if there isn't in the beta or after the beta. But yeah, we're starting to retreat here, and I'm starting to think, well, maybe I need to just try to defend around this point. Even though we're probably going to lose, I'd rather lose at least holding 1 point than have them sort of sweep us. So the retreat is beginning, and that's a good thing too, because we're going to end up needing to defend around this point pretty hard. Got some kind of air coming in from our enemy there, and we don't have the our friendly Patriots anymore. I don't know if that guy DC'd or abandoned the game. The Lav AD took it out though, so that was kind of nice. You do get, from planes, you do get crew that can bail out. And I think the purpose of that is that if you manage to save your pilots, you can get a partial refund. They don't do that for anything else. If your helicopter crashes, there's no pilot that comes out. If your tank explodes, there's no crew that comes out. It's just the pilots. And I think typically the planes tend to go down in really inaccessible locations, so I think most of the time it's relatively impractical to save your pilots. But if you happen to have transport in the area, it might be worth doing. Like, yeah, that pilot went down and he was totally surrounded by enemies, so there was no way he was getting out. Yeah, so six minutes left, and I'm starting to see that airdrop in the upper right corner, and I don't know if I saw it at the time, But there's one. I think I do see that one, and I'm starting to realize what's going to happen, which is they're going to airdrop on the point. And this is where I realized, oh no, I've made a big mistake. We need to pull way, way back. And defend that point, or they're just going to instant win. So we're pulling back everything. It's pretty hopeless at this point. But I wanted to see if I could hold them off for as long as possible. You can see they're dropping in there. Once they kill off that weapons team that's in there, which is going to happen really quickly, they're going to start capturing the point, flipping it from blue to white. Yeah, so that just started. And then once they flip it from blue to white, they need to flip it from white to red. You can see the little bar sort of snaking around there. So it does take a while, and I am just suiciding these units in there. I'm not entirely sure how the capture mechanics work. I think if you've got friendly units in there, the capturing either pauses or it would at least slow down, maybe, depending on the ratio of enemies to friendlies, perhaps. We'll see here if that set makes it in. Yep, okay, so me just touching it with the set paused the... I probably should have smoked here, but I'm kind of panicking. Trying to bring in as much as I can. I don't know if any of that stuff is really going to make it in time, but I do have other vehicles that are coming in, and at this point I know the game is lost. I just want to try to save the last point if possible. And yeah, I'm looking around like, guys, anybody? Anything? I think probably at this point most of the other players have either DC'd or they're just AFK waiting for the next game. I don't think there's any kind of penalty for leaving games that I know of. So I figured we'll at least make it hard for them. We're not going to go down without a fight here. We do have some tanks coming in. I don't recall if they make it. I don't think they do. They're pretty slow. And I do smoke there, trying to just keep things up for as long as I can. I'm not sure what that flashing red symbol means. I don't know if that's just we took damage. I know there's some kind of suppression mechanic in the game. I don't know if the suppression applies to vehicles or just infantry. So yeah, they do another drop on us. And I don't know if that... I think that must be a friendly airstrike that's coming in there. We do have some friendly helicopters that are helping out. Probably helicopters would have been a better call for me. So you can see now it's flipping from white to red. Yeah, friendly airstrike there. I'm not really sure what he did. So yeah, just trying to bringing in the Ospreys, because they'll be fast. Just trying to see if I can stall this out for another 3.5 minutes, and I don't think that's going to happen. Because it's going pretty fast here. Just calling in everything I have. So some kind of airstrike that came in there. It doesn't look like it did that much to my tanks. One of them took a bit of damage. And they're going to come in and blow away that weapons team. But these tanks are going to get in really close proximity to infantry, and almost all the infantry squads have some kind of short-range anti-tank weapons, so what I'm doing is obviously really dangerous. Okay, my Ospreys made it there, but didn't make it alive, so we don't quite pull off holding off that point. So we do lose here. My death-loss ratio is not super great, but just looking at the rest of my team, I think I came in second with only one of our other players having a positive destruction, or it's DL is destruction loss, not death loss. So I did come in second on my team in terms of that. So I think that's pretty good. And the enemy team, they had one guy who was 4-1, so 4.33. So I have a feeling that this was kind of just a team stacking situation, and probably they didn't have any disconnects. Yeah, like the guy who had 3 destructions and 12 losses, like, was he even in the game? I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. So that was the first game of Broken Arrow that I've ever played, and I haven't played any other the modern real-time tactics games. I think I fired up the Wargame European Escalation single-player campaign and played half of one mission and never got any farther than that. I played the demo of Regiments, didn't get any farther than that. Back in the day, I played a lot of World in Conflict. Haven't played multiplayer in forever, probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years or whatever it was. I don't know if the game is 15. I think it's 17 years old, so it might actually literally be 15 years because it came out in 2007. So I did play the World in Conflict campaign fairly recently, but that's kind of a totally different ball game. So just getting a feel for this, and I do have a few other games that go a bit better than this one, and I am learning more, and have been watching the streamers sort of theorycraft things. So we'll see what happens in future games. Hopefully more victories.